Good evening, everybody. I'm just going to give it a few more moments before I begin. Are you guys able to hear me? Hello, everybody. Yeah, I want to talk about just a little bit about the budget here in a minute. All right, everybody. How you guys doing tonight? Yeah, thank you guys for the thumbs up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get into it because I'm going to come back tomorrow. Again, I'm not sure exactly what time, but I will schedule it in advance. Okay, so one of the things that happened today is the Iraqi parliament approves 2021 budget of $89 billion. Not going to get it all into specifics, but it was the budget At the very end of the article, says that the budget is set on a for every $1, 1,450 Iraqi dinar. So it looks like there was no type of rate change in the budget. And also, I believe that you would also, the parliament would actually have to pass a law too as well. Now, with the price of the oil the way it is right now, it says here that the 2021 budget set an oil price of $45 a barrel and expected oil exports of 3.25 million barrels per day. So their budget is actually set at the $45 price. So let's go take a look at the oil prices today. So we can see WTI crude is set at 59, Brent crude is at 63. So it sounds like to me they should have a lot of extra money left over. All right, so the first question I got, where can I buy dinar in exchange or actual bills? And I'm going to do some price comparisons here really quick. I don't know, my internet wants to run slow. So there was a lot of talk about the budget and just the rate in the budget. And I'm going to get into something that I found pretty funny today. But there was a lot of expectations that the rate would change, or the rate would be a new rate would be in the budget, and then of course the rate would change. And as I explained in the video previously, that they already said that it has to be approved through the parliament. All right, so there's two sites that I use. One is safedinar.com. And so let's see what the dinar price is right now. So depending on how much you want to buy, at least here, if you wanted to buy 1,000,000 dinar, it's going to run you about $1,054. Of course, that doesn't include shipping or what they call like an ID fee and anything else that they've added recently. Yeah, all these other currencies are on back order. So the only dinar, or the only denomination available, is the $25,000 note. So that's pretty interesting because, you know, when they lifted a lot of the restrictions and they were starting to get more dinar back in, it seemed like there was like a flood of dinar, like everybody had all the denominations. And so it looks like, at least here, according to Safe Dinar, they're back ordered on some of those lower denominations and on the 50,000 note. I don't know why Exchange of America won't come up. Okay, Dan asked, why would Iraq go through all this to keep EAR the same? Why would the officials agree to a pay cut? Doesn't make sense. Well, they think that this is helpful in the long term, even though it may have an effect on the poor in Iraq, and I discussed that. Okay, am I losing you guys here? Okay, I hope not. Okay, so for whatever reason, I can't pull up Exchange of America right now. Okay, so Gooseman looked it up, and it was $1,175. Yeah, my cat keeps meowing back here behind me, so. So that's a pretty big difference. That's like, let's see, about a $120 difference between Exchange of America and Safe Dinar. So right now it looks like, unless anybody can look anything else up really quick while I move on to the next subject, see if it's cheaper anywhere else. All right. Hold on one moment. Yeah, usually when I do order, I always order the $25,000 note. I think I have plenty of $10 and $5 and $1,000 notes, but now when I usually order, I try to order the $25,000 note. There's been a few times where I've gone in the order over the last year and there wasn't any available, and I had to either get the $10,000 note or the $50,000 note. Okay, one of the things that I found very funny today, and just going over Dinar recaps, and usually I only go here like once, every few days, but since I was going to go ahead and broadcast, I was going to go ahead and just go over some of it, go over one of their posts today, which I found interesting. Yeah, Crypto Gamer. Yeah, they did say that they're going to try to keep that rate for a long time. That was the other thing that was in another article. Now, 4 more years. I don't know if you guys could stand another 4 more years of waiting for the global currency reset. But like I've said before, in order for the currency global reset to happen, the economy, there has to be, when things seem like they are at their worst. All right, I was just going through and just looking at some of the, and one of the things that I haven't done in a long time, I have not been in a chat room in probably almost a year. And before then, maybe a couple times, maybe 3-4 times a year, I would go into a chat room or whatever. But I found this interesting. And this is one of the things that always bothered me when I first got into purchasing, when I first got into the Dinar, and I was following these chat rooms and things like that, right? So there's this post, and I don't even know who this person is, Fleming Wednesday RV update. And this is something that I heard all the time. And I'm surprised that stuff like this is, you know, kind of still going on. And I don't know who the person is, and maybe they've had some kind of intel, whatever, but we still are here with no revaluation. But I just thought that this was funny. And this is one of the reasons why I started like making videos in the first place, because I was tired of seeing these types of posts. And it's like fantasy almost. But it says, it's a Fleming Wednesday RV update. Our military intel contact is confirming Mr. Fleming's sources and Iraqi news sources that today, Wednesday the 31st of March, Iraq did publicly pass the budget, which means the Dinar RV rate was passed within the budget. And our guy said that just before 2 p.m. EDT today, Wednesday, 31st March, DOD and UST gave the green light to move the release process forward. He said that many banks and bankers are expecting the T4B notifications and secure links for 800 numbers to come out in the next 24 hours, according to Wednesday, 24th of March, World Court ruling. You know, that's just, okay, let me read just a little bit more. But he said that they may start T4B as early as tomorrow, Thursday, 1st of April. However, he said that the military government have been negotiating with the World Court behind the scenes regarding T4B start and liquidity start timing, given the deep state war still being waged. Because of this, he said they may release our T4B notifications as early as tomorrow, Thursday, the 1st of April, but for various reasons, they may also release the shotgun start along with our T4B notifications by next Tuesday, the 6th of April. Some of these reasons may be the following. All right, so it goes again. I'm not going to read all this stuff. Again, of course, they mention GCR. Implementation of the debt jubilee public debt payoff packages will be initiated next week, and the rest of the 1.9 trillion stimulus bill, direct deposits of checks, which will pause till last weekend, started up again, are expected to be finished up this week. This may or may not have some bearing on our T4B timing. This is the kind of stuff that's just, honestly, it's all fantasy. There's no truth to any of this at all whatsoever, and it's just our guy, right? So I saw this a lot when I first got into the Dinar, and you know, for a while there, I was actually believing some of this stuff going back all the way to 2011, and this is just pure fantasy, you know, whatever, you know, all these things that this person is saying. And then one of the things that we have to be careful of, right? He said that many banks and bankers are expecting the T4B notifications and secure links for 800 numbers to come out in the next 24 hours. So guess what? beware of the 800 numbers, right? So they're already telling you what they're getting ready to do. So, this information has to come out like this. They want to get your mind thinking about calling the 800 numbers so that they can scam you when the currency reset takes place. Because trust me, when it does take place, just kind of like now where you have like scammers calling you now, they're going to be doing the same thing with emails, calling you on the phone, just trying to fish and try to get a hit. Okay, so we got a question. I'm not sure how to say her name. Collier. Okay. Does Trump need to be back in the current? Need to be back in for the currency to revalue and silver to revalue? No, because he was there for 4 years and it didn't happen then. So I don't think it's something that is needed to happen. I think that regardless, I think in my live stream yesterday, I talked about, there's maybe some type of fail-safe trigger dealing with the economy, maybe when the Dow does hit 20,000, and there are some other factors that play into that they'll go ahead and trigger this to try to save the economy, the last ditch effort, because they really want to keep the system the way that it is, because they make so much money off of debt. They make money off of people like me and you, like being slaves in this financial system, right? But this is just very interesting, just reading this and just knowing that some of these things are still being said. So you guys need to watch out for that, and don't give anybody anything dealing with an 800 number. And then, of course, again, we have the NASARA implementation of the public debt payoff packages. And there's nothing I could ever find that shows anything like that. And I actually believed that and thought at one time that I was going to get some type of prosperity package, because that's what I was told in the very, very beginning. And I realized after, a couple years that, some of this stuff is just not going to happen in the way that they keep saying it's going to happen. Because when you start doing your research, you start looking into these things, you'll see that, like the NASARA, there's no evidence of that. And I kept hearing back in when Bush was in office that it was going to start then when Obama was in office, and then when Trump was in office. So, and the people that keep pushing that, as far as that, they've been pushing it ever since the 2000s, when Bush got into office. Well, yeah, you don't need any 800 numbers. You're just gonna go to the bank and just go to exchange it. It's gonna be the safest way to do it, right? You want to think about the safest way in the RV, that you don't want to send your money off. You don't want to call anybody to let anybody else know, hey, I just became a multimillionaire. Here's my telephone number. Here's my address. You do not want to do that. And for all you know, this person could be from, just from a different government. We have a lot of enemies that infiltrate, like on social media in all these different areas. And for all you know, it could be one of our enemies, setting us up for the future, trying to anyway. You don't know. Because all this stuff right here just does not make any sense at all. All right, James asked, is the Zim still in the baskets of currency? Well, I don't know. It very well could be. I think I think especially in the whole region of Africa itself, they have a lot of natural resources. They have energy, and we know that they should be in a different position. And especially with all the gold and minerals and diamonds, and just as a whole, Africa should be very prosperous. But I guess if they were not prosperous, maybe other countries wouldn't be as prosperous. So you got to think about it in that way. Thanks, James, for the $3. Appreciate that. Okay, so Diana asked, have you ever made a video about XRP? I was searching today in your channel but couldn't find it. Did Kim mention XRP as one of the wealth transfers? I don't think he did. The one, the X and the P, I believe to be the XLPI, the Excel Plus. Right now they're getting ready to go through a reverse split. So I'm not going to buy any until sometime after the reverse split. Most of the times, or a lot of times, when a company goes through a reverse split, and I've seen this, they'll go 1 to 100, and within a couple days to a couple weeks, it may be all the way back down to 10 cents. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay, like right now, and it's one of the things that I've been studying this one, and if you guys know a lot what's going on with AMC and GME and all the stock market manipulation, a lot of the things that I'm seeing in this particular stock, I do see a lot of algorithmic trading. Because even though there's nothing really going on with the company, they really haven't updated very much. When you compare that to other companies that they're updated, they're moving forward, but the stock market is down. They've lost a lot of value. This stock has kept in between 1 cent and 2 cents throughout the whole month of March. So I believe that the X and the P prophecy by Clement is XLPI, but it's just not ready yet, right? So there will be a reverse split that is coming, and we'll just wait to see what happens after that. Yeah, I think when the currency reset first happens, I believe that it's going to be like the dinar first. I believe that's going to be the first currency to revalue. I do believe that the Vietnamese dong will come either a day or probably at the most 2 days, and then from there I think you're going to see a lot of other changes. Now, of course, there could be changes between the dinar and the dong, but I think that you're going to see a lot of these currencies just explode one after the other, and then countries that are not ready to join like I've said, like countries like in South America and other places, they're not ready to change the value of their currency because there is a lot of political upheaval, a lot of unrest among the citizens, especially like some countries in South America. I've always said that some of these countries in South America are not going to be ready for the valuation. So I do have a currency list I did put out. It's in my videos on which currencies that I think will be the top choices as far as getting the best value for your money. All right, Dan asked, will there be a tax for it? Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be some kind of tax. I mean, if you were to buy millions of dollars worth of, say, the Mexican peso, and that's been a currency that has been fluctuating a lot over the last 10 years, in my opinion, and you buy it when it's low, and then you turn it in when it's high. If you were to do that right now, I think if it's a certain amount, most definitely that you're going to have to pay taxes on that. As far as that, because you're going to have to give the exchange people all your information, so the government will know that you exchanged that amount. But now, of course, if you go out, if you were to go to Mexico and buy a whole bunch of pesos and then come back over the border and exchange them slowly, that would probably one way you could get out from paying taxes. But it might take a long time to cash out, millions of dollars. Yes, I did invest in XRP. Like I said, this is the XRP. When I discussed the X and the P prophecy, I gave went over different possible investments, and of course, it has to fit a certain criteria. And this was the only company that fit that. And like I said, I'm not going to buy right now. I'm going to wait for the reverse split and see what happens. Now, Kim did not revalue. I mean, Kim Clement did not prophesy about the Vietnamese dong. The dinar, when you go back in history and you look at going back, they talked about Bush talking about how the Iraq war was supposed to pay for itself, which it never did. And there was a lot of other speculations dealing with the currency. And so that's where it kind of started from there. Now, and then after that, we've seen other prophets come through. We've had a lot of other people that have had dreams and visions about, some type of global currency reset. And then, of course, we confirm a lot of this information, what is in the news media, what is actually in print, that we can go research things that they have said in the past, especially like an asset-based system where you have gold, silver, oil, different different commodities, whatever, that will support the rate for their currency. All right, so before I'm going to get off this screen, people were telling me, several people have sent me this, the EENF stock. Now, it's jumped up quite a bit over the last, let's see here. Yeah, just earlier this month, it was around, let's see here, $0.015. Right now it's at, oh, sorry, looking at the wrong one here. I'm still learning how to read these charts and looking at patterns and looking at things. So if I don't say anything while I'm looking at it, I'm just thinking. Wow, so this sucker was less than a penny in the month of March. All right, it's up to 7 cents. So I have to do some more research and look to see if there is any other like entry point or anything that I could see that I might be able to get in lower than that, or wait a few days. One of the other Zion Oil and Gas, and I shared with you guys, I thought that this stock was going to go down more. And part of it might have to do with just them not updating as much, but that's fine, because the cheaper that it gets, the more that I can go ahead and buy. And let's see, tomorrow is the last day of the stock market as far as being open for this week. On Friday is Good Friday, so all the stock markets are closed. Okay, so I want to get into a little bit about one of the Kim Clement prophecies. I'm not sure if I just found that right. Okay. Now, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that this two presidents prophecy by Kim Clement, do you think that it's going to happen? Do you think that's going to happen before the next election? Because I've said in the past that if this does not take place, if this does not happen, that we still have some years to go. Yeah, I know. But I did find one of the prophecies, because remember, folks, right? Okay, so this is important. This is almost like a Kim Clement alert, right? Anytime that Kim Clement says anything about the spring, fall, summer, a season, or anything like that, when I try to look for those certain prophecies dealing with a certain time frame, so like if he mentions something that something's supposed to happen in the spring, then we should be looking for any of those prophecies that he talks about in the spring. So he says here, right, and he's talking about the two presidents, right? And we've discussed that before. And he says, I told you now in the spring, I will expose and reveal things that have been hidden so that my nation can move forward in this next election, into this next election, into the next phase with victory and honor and glory, says the Lord of hosts. All right, so we are in the spring, right? And so I've discussed what those revelations are. So we are expecting some things, right? And I don't know how true that this information might be, but many of you already know that U.S. Representative Matt Gaetz is in trouble for, he's got wrapped up in this investigation. So I don't know if this could be the beginning. A lot of people look up to this person. They look up to this representative, but we won't know until the government actually releases whatever information that they have. Now, folks, if you guys do know, there is a video by Hank Kuhneman that deals with one of the politicians. And he says that he's going to come out and he's going to deny it, and then it's going to come out to actually being true. So if you guys could find that video, please let me know. I saw it maybe a week ago or so, but I cannot find the video. It's not in my history or anything. So these hidden things, they're going to come, and we all know that those revelations and who the main person was and all that. And I'm not going to bring it up here because, you know, sometimes YouTube will restrict when you talk about certain things. But those were things that we did expect. We expected some mass arrest under the president, former President Trump, but it didn't happen. We actually didn't see hardly any movement concerning a lot of those things, right? At least letting the American people know, hey, all this stuff is going on, and all these politicians are involved. But I think that's part of when all those revelations do come out. I think that's where Esther comes in, and then the oil is poured out on the nation, and all that's going to take time. Thank you, Apostle Lisa Graves, for the $20. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, there. Now, as far as the beautiful eyes, as far as the prophecies about this Esther, like I shared in the last, well, actually, I haven't shared that video yet. It's actually still on the Patreon. So, and I do talk about Esther. I do talk about the two presidents. I do talk about Kamala Harris. I know somebody made a comment. Well, at least according to Prophet Charlie Sham, uh, we have this prophecy about Kamala Harris, and that's the whole thing about this. And I think this is when this comes with this two presidents, because of what the Democrats actually put Kamala Harris through. Basically, the way I look at it, right? She's going to be broken as a result of the reality, and the reality is that, yeah, the reality is the Democrats are using her. So again, thank you, Apostle Lisa Graves, for the $20, and I also am. That's really beneficial because a lot of times with a lot of the videos that I make, sometimes like this last one I made, it took a really long time to like really put it together. I really make sure that all my ducks are in a row, because if I show you guys something, I want to be able to say, well, look here and look there, and not just what I see a lot of people do is they try to rile up uh, your emotions up in all this, with the elections and all that stuff. And so we have to be rooted and grounded in all that, because things are going to happen at some point to where we're going to start seeing all these different things. But he does prophesy here that she will be broken as a result of what the Democrats do to her, basically, right? Her political future will be hung in the balance, and she will be, and God will present her with a choice to choose the difficult road, one that will build bridges across enemy lines and forge friendships from common political rivals. She is my bridge builder. I will use her to build new political alliances that help those in need of the nation. Where she was once hated by some, she will be seen as a trusted ally and praised as she brings justice to the poor of this country. Now, I hope that I do say, I do hope that I say your name right, right? So, Tashina, is that how it says? Is that how it is said? I hope I didn't butcher it. All right. So somebody asked if. Well, okay. Let me see. Now, when it comes to the dinar valuation and Easter, I've probably heard it probably almost every Easter that the dinar was going to come, and uh, that's something else too that kind of bothered me about like some of those newsletters and stuff. Okay, so I did say your name right. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, we got another one. Gil, thank you very much. $20 super chat. Thank you guys so much. Oh, that is such a blessing. I'm definitely going to be back on tomorrow too as well, because there's some other things I do want to discuss. Um, Now there is this other stock that I do want to discuss. I think when I did mention this in the TC group, it was BMIX, and it was at around 2 cents. And for the past few days, at least this week, it's been trading a little bit lower than that. And I'm going to go ahead and look at this company here real quick. Okay, so just going back over the news over Brazil Minerals, that's BMIX. So they did upgrade their OTC status. Triton funds to purchase up to 5 million of Brazil's Minerals common stock. That was some very good news. Brazil Minerals advances lithium project on receiving exploration permit. So I guess they're into lithium. So if you already know, in Joe Biden's package, they're going to be focused on a lot of EV, and cars, and so we do expect a lot of mining companies will be asked for a lot of this lithium to make all these different batteries. So I'm pretty sure that these stocks, this one here, is going to do pretty well. Yeah, my whole strategy with buying dinar, I'm not really focused on buying other currencies right now. Some of the currencies that I will buy after the dinar revaluation, because I'd rather spend if the dinar is going to give me more value, it's going to bring me a greater return on. If the dinar is going to give me greater return, then and I can still buy both, I'm going to go ahead and still buy the dinar. So and my goal is the moment of the RV is to try to buy Vietnamese dong and some other sets of currencies. All right, so tell me, do you guys have any other questions? Is there anything else? I know I asked in the group if you guys had any questions, anything that I can answer. I'm still really trying to get used to this, so I apologize about the delays and the pauses and everything. But the more I do this, the more I'm going to be, I'm going to get better at talking to you guys. Is there a split coming for BMIX? I wouldn't think so. Not if you have these funds coming in and buying their stock. But let me look. Okay, so the information that I have here, I don't see anything that show anything about any kind of a reverse split. Let's see. Last split they had was back in 2017, a 1 for 500. Yeah, I'm waiting for the NAK to go up too. Yeah, I think getting out of March and getting into April and getting the economy going is going to start pushing this up, pushing the whole stock market up, hopefully, right? It just seems like they keep throwing bad news and bad news, and it just seems like it's just being done on purpose. Yeah, an LBSR, I'm not sure exactly what all is going on with that. I'm going to have to do some research on that. I haven't looked into it lately just because I don't think it was trading there for a little bit. They had it suspended. What is the dinar or the Iraqi dinar? And like I said, right now you can get that on safedinar.com. Right now, the only notes that are available is the 25K notes. All right, folks, do you guys have any other questions? I'm going to come back live again tomorrow. At some point during the day. It's going to be probably well before noon, but I am going to put together, with the program that I have, I can set it up to let you guys know when I'm going to do that. Yeah, I don't know anything about XRP and Bill Gates. I don't know if he's connected to that or at all whatsoever. We can take a look. Okay, how Bill Gates is using cryptocurrency Ripple to fight global poverty. So I guess there is a connection. So very well may be that XRP, I think XRP was undervalued for a long time anyway. But I do believe that is one that is going to take off. All right, thank you, Chris Price. Thank you for the $9.99. I appreciate that. That is awesome. Thank you, guys. I don't know about Bill Gates. You know, he's this whole thing with the pandemic and and just his power and influence, and to me, I just don't trust him. I don't have any trust for him at all whatsoever, and that was well before the pandemic. And of course, I probably have a negative view of him anyway, just because of how like Microsoft Edge runs. I don't use it, but it seems to be always interfering with my Google or Firefox. So once again, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Now, crypto firm Ripple Labs is planning to take a 40% stake in Asia cross-border payments specialist Trianglo. Okay. All right, here we go. Ripple settles XRP case with SEC for $100 million. According to this article, I don't know if that's true or not. Sometimes you got to be careful. Google will throw you some weird articles. So I wonder if this is right here, if this is fake news right here, right? Finance magnets. Because the lawsuit, they're still ruling. They still have some court dates coming up. So That's what I'm saying. When you guys do your research, you see this kind of stuff. It makes you try to jump in real quick. How did I come up with the name Twisted Christian? Man, well, that name kind of came to me through a series of events, and just being raised Catholic and coming out of that, and then having to deal with my family, and then starting my journey, going to like visiting different churches and going to Bible studies and trying to learn the Bible from what it was. And one of the things that I learned, there's a lot of tradition in churches. So every time that if I bring up something in the Bible, like biblical prophecy or prophets, or, you know, a fringe subject that's in the Bible, but it's not talked about in church, they kind of look at you weird, like with a, you know, with a twisted kind of face, like, huh? You know, so I've tried really hard to adhere to the original Bible, like to the original teachings, right? In its original language. So learning about everything that's in the Bible, but learning it from the best that we can in its original language. And that's where we get like there's a lot of mistranslations in the Bible, and that all has to do with just not interpreting the original language correctly. So we might see a breakthrough here with Ripple, hopefully here in the next within the next month or so. So don't forget, guys, to look at BMIX and take a look at that. That's going to be something down the road. That's a long-term hold, in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, but you guys can do the research. There's plenty of news articles. They're updated on all their paperwork and everything else. They're expanding. They're getting investments. All right, so you guys have any other questions, or you guys have a question about maybe Clement's prophecies? Oh yeah, HPNN. All right, now HPNN suffered a loss like a lot of the OTC stocks. And one thing you should probably realize, that what actually happened in the OTC market over the last week is that there's been a lot of shorting going on by a lot of the hedge funds. And so that's one of the reasons why that the OTC markets were hit. I think they see it as the easy way to it's the easy way to manipulate the whole entire OTC market. They needed some funds. They were doing a lot of shorting in the OTC markets, and you see where it's at now. So they've made a lot of money, but they've had to pay off some of their short bets that did not work out. So you can go to the hop on Twitter, and you can check out the news that they do have. The CEO is very active on Twitter. And this latest one, Hop On, is now working with the two largest music industry right orgs for DigitalAge.com. Copyright laws require music users to get permission from songwriters and composers who can charge a fee before their music is played. So it looks like they do, and I've said this, that they do have a lot of different things coming down the pipeline. I'm just waiting for official announcements on that. And it's currently sitting at 0.0039. Now this stock did hit a penny and a half, but I think it was about a month ago. The stock did hit about a penny and a half. So from where it's at now, and I can really see that this, with all the news that should be coming out, that should be boosting up the stock. We should see the stock, go up to 2-3 cents easy. Yeah, well, that's what happened to me. I bought some. I did buy some, and then of course it went down. I averaged down some more, and I may even average down a little bit more. And like I said, it's not just HPNN or HCMC. It's a lot of different OTC stocks. Oh, okay. Okay, I do want to. I did find the Clement prophecy that I wanted to shortly discuss and kind of see. Are we at that point in this particular prophecy? And you remember the impeach, right? That dealt with President Trump. And this is back from February 22nd, 2014. It says here that they will shout, impeach, impeach. They say, but nay, this nation shall come very subtly, but he shall come in the time of President Obama. They shall come when the new one arises, my David, that I have set aside for this nation, a man of prayer, a man of choice words, not a man who's verbose, who has verbosity, who speaks too much. They will even say, this man is not speaking enough. But God says, I have set him aside. They will shout, impeach, impeach, that this shall not happen, right? And then God says, highly embarrassing moments when another Snowden arises and people will become very afraid and they'll say, we have no protection, right? So, now they've already went through trying to impeach him twice, right? So, but he said after this, right, after the impeach, right, highly embarrassing moments when another Snowden arises. Okay, so this is an event that since we had the impeachment thing go on, so this next thing is something about another Snowden arising. So we got to look. That's gonna be the next step, or the next thing that's gonna happen in this particular prophecy. Yes, I'm still a very big fan of HPNN. Like I said, there's a lot of the CEO is very active on Twitter. And so if you go there and you go check out everything that everything that they are lining up and what they're doing, you can go back just over the last 2 months. There's just tons and tons of information. So eventually we'll get there with HPNN. And one of the things that I learned back during the pandemic, I sold off a lot of stocks that had lost a lot of value. And 6 months later, I go back and I look at some of the stocks at what price I sold them at, and I was kicking myself big time because all I had to do was just be patient and wait. And so I'm not going to make that mistake. If I feel like if there was very negative news that was coming out about any of the stocks I'm involved in that I'm holding on to right now, more than likely, yes, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them if it's something very damaging or very, very negative. Yeah, and it is a good buying opportunity. Especially when I first did the alert, it was at .0047, I think it was, or something like that. Yes, Hop On is a long-term stock. That's the way I look at it. It's a longer-term investment, and it's a very good price to get in right now. Some stocks that I get into that are like this cheap, a lot of times I just buy it and then I just kind of forget about it. But this one, of course, I'm following a lot more closely because there's a lot of good news that is supposed to come out about this particular one. Does anybody out there have Dodge? I am still, I do still use my Robinhood, and the only thing that I do have on my Robinhood is Dogecoin. I don't buy any stocks on Dogecoin. I mean, I don't buy any stocks on Robinhood anymore unless I'm swing trading, unless I'm resorted to using it to swing trade for the day within the hours that Robinhood is actually available to trade. There's a lot of speculation about Dogecoin and the price predictions. It's interesting because years ago, before I lost all of my cryptocurrency, I mean, there were times where I was getting like 500 Dogecoins a day, and I ended up losing all that. It was just insane. So there's a lot of information. There's people saying that Dogecoin is going to be going to $1. You got one that says $4. This guy says here $1,000. So, and if you do, that's one of the things is if you do use Robinhood and you do get your, if you do promote it or whatever and you get your free stocks, the only thing that I'm doing with that is just turning around and buying Dogecoin with it. I'm not buying any stocks. I'm just putting it into Dogecoin. I don't trust Robinhood very much, and not because you're going to lose money, but because they did restrict a lot of people from buying certain stocks and cashing out stocks and just all kind of crazy stuff. So they're partly involved in some of that manipulation. Okay, folks, it is getting late for me. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me, and while I learn and just try to get used to doing this, right? So tomorrow I'm going to try to be a lot more, be able to go from topic to topic, and we're just going to try to have fun with this, and look out for information and news that's going to help us gain financial wealth, right, through the prophetic or through whatever other means. Thank you, Stacy. That's fine. You can go back and watch it. No, but I'm gonna be on tomorrow. I'm not sure it'll be on in the morning before the afternoon starts. So we can get back on here if you guys have questions. You want to ask me about anything. You want to ask me about the project, the Grigori project, or you want to ask me anything about Kim Clement prophecies. Okay, if not Robinhood, what should I use? Okay, well, in order to buy Dogecoin, maybe somebody can go ahead and answer that. The thing about it is that using a crypto platform, being here in the United States, there's only like right now, as far as I know, you can buy Dogecoin on Robinhood, but you can't buy it on Coinbase and a few others. I think there is another app, a phone app, and somebody mentioned it before, but I totally forgot what it was. So if you know what that one is, put it on there. But that's the whole thing. You can only buy and sell. You can't transfer any Dogecoin in yet. They are working on that. But like I said, if you use it and you get your free stocks, you just turn around and just sell those stocks off after 3 days and buy Dogecoin and just keep buying Dogecoin with your free stocks. Well, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it. All right, folks, so we're going to go ahead and end this. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I appreciate all you guys' support. All those support links are down below in the description, and so we'll see you guys tomorrow. So thank you guys for listening. God bless, and with that being said, Twisted Christian out.